Hey guys, Dex here, and
TFAV.
also TFAV. And this is going to be our second week of doing these spooky Scooby-Doo reviews. Scooby-Doo, because we are nerds and we like Scooby-Doo. And last week we talked about Zombie Island, so if you haven't watched that, links somewhere.
Everywhere.
We're pointing, but you guys can't see it. Links somewhere. Links everywhere.
Yeah, just put multiple links.
Please watch it. It's great. We had a lot of fun, and we think you guys would have a lot of fun too. And if you're curious on our thoughts on that movie,
you can go find us to get more.
you can go. Do not. You can go find the link, and then we will provide the link either in the description below or somewhere on screen, waving our hands. For this week, we are going to talk about the second direct-to-video Scooby-Doo movie.
Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost.
Which is probably my favorite, I think.
Yeah, it has a good voice cast.
This one came out in 99.
Yep.
Apologies, 99. A year after Zombie Island.
Which started like a yearly trend of these.
Yeah, which kind of kicked off the yearly trend of these Scooby-Doo movies. So if you guys are like ever in like Walmart or something and you look over and you're like, what the hell is Scooby-Doo meets Rush, you're like, oh,
just like a little off topic, but I can't wait for that Scooby-Doo and Supernatural's episode.
Oh,
I'm not a big Supernatural's fan.
Not a big Supernatural
but I want to
fan.
see what they do with Scooby-Doo.
That's gonna be amazing. Don't even get me started.
It's gonna be 100%
I don't even
animated.
know if it's gonna be out by the point we're recording
No.
this, but
I don't think so. I think that's near the end of the season.
I think it's probably in October. If they're smart, that's when they'll put it. But I don't even know what to expect. But they better get the right voice cast to play the gang, or I'm gonna be disappointed
they
as
probably
hecky
are.
heck. But besides the point, again, this is another film that has a joint project thing between Warner Brothers Animation and Hanna-Barbera Productions. And
No, Mook. I don't think Mook's part
I
of
think
this one.
Mook again might have animated this one as well.
No, I
They
don't
did
think
like
so.
an outsourcing to Japanese companies sometimes for their animation, but this one might have been homegrown entirely.
I think this was all in-house production with those two.
It's another one that's done in the same animation style as Zombie Island, and it's nice. It doesn't have the same level of like detail and shading, but it's still very fluid and it's like very visually pleasing.
Yep. Has one of the best like voice casts probably of all.
It has a really great cast on here again. This does mark the first time that Scott Innes takes over being Shaggy, because Billy West was busy with other projects, most notably playing Fry, Professor Farnsworth in Zoidberg and Futurama, so he wasn't really able to reprise his role as Shaggy. So there was just a couple bit of a switch there with Scott taking over the role of Scooby. But then you again have Frank Welker, Mary Kay Bergman, and B.G. Ward reprising their roles as Fred, Daphne, and Velma. But there are some notable characters that were added in this film. Some characters that have only been seen in this film, and then some characters that got life outside of this film. But in here we have TFAB, take it away.
Tim Curry as Ben Ravenclaw.
Ravencroft, yeah. Ravencroft. He's an author. That's, your titular author character returning to his hometown to reconnect with his roots. I think it's Jennifer Hale, Jane Wilden, and then Kimberly Brooks are the Hex Girls, which are Thorn, Dusk, and Luna, respectively. And then you have Tress MacNeille, who's a pretty big-name voice actress. She does Sarah Ravencroft, who is Ben's ancestor. I think
Neil Ross is the mayor.
Yeah, Neil Ross is the mayor.
What the heck has Neil Ross been in?
I'm not sure off the top of my head, but he did a great job as mayor. All of the voice work was really good. Obviously, we're big fans of Tim Curry, so Tim Curry's voice work in this was phenomenal. Like everything Tim Curry is in is wonderful, and I like having multiple Halloween kind of movies.
Fern Gully was kind of.
He was the best part of Fern Gully.
Yeah, but Fern Gully was. Yeah, you got one great song.
But like he's great, and I'm glad that he got to be in a Scooby-Doo movie, since he was actually approached to be in the first live action, in the role that Rowan Atkinson ended up taking, but he refused to do it when he learned that Scrappy was in the movie, because he hates Scrappy-Doo.
I think everybody hates Scrappy-Doo, respectively.
So I'm glad he was able to actually get a chance to be in a Scooby-Doo movie. So that's pretty great. But like all in all, the voice acting is phenomenal. Like I really think they all did a good job. There's no single character I can think of where I was like, wow, they are really not on par with everyone else in the film. Like everyone was really
You can tell with You tell the Shaggy was a different voice actor, but you know, after a while, it just kind of,
He did a really good job, like imitating Billy West's version of Shaggy. So it's not so distracting that you're gonna be like, wow, that's clearly a completely different person. It's just that Shaggy, and as long as you can get like the Shaggyisms down, you're pretty good. For animation, yeah, you'd say pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Pretty overall, really
Fluid.
nice. We're
Color's
both
nice.
animation nuts, so we're really.
I'm not an animation nut. I just like watching cartoons.
He likes
I'm a
watching
cartoon
cartoons.
enthusiast. That's
He's
more.
a cartoon enthusiast, and
That's-
I'm both that, and I like animation a lot. So, if you guys like good animation, definitely
Yeah, I recommend
this is worth it. Another notable thing about this one is that because it was like the debut of the Hex Girls, we got a lot of original songs sung by the Hex Girls. Mainly, in the film they have Hex Girl as a song, and then Earth, Wind, Fire, and Air. There are some others that you could get if you bought the soundtrack of the film, but these are the ones that were in the movie, so they're the ones we'll talk about. Hex Girl, pretty great. That's like their intro song.
Yeah, it's
the gang kind of comes across them warming up, and the song's pretty amazing. We can put a little clip here of it.
Hit it, sisters!
Zoinks! It's the witches! Easy, guys. It's just the Hex Girls.
I'm gonna cast a spell on you. You're gonna do what I want you to. Mix it up here in my little bowl. Say a few words and you lose control. I'm a Hex Girl, and I'm gonna put a spell on you. I'm gonna put a spell on you. I'm a Hex Girl, and I'm gonna put a spell on you. Put a spell on you.
So as you can see, it's like a pretty great song. Like, I really like that one. And then the second one, Earth, Wind, Fire, and Air, is the song they sing at the end that has like.
I don't really remember that one. That
You don't
much.
remember? It's one at the end. It's like Earth, Wind,
Oh yeah,
Fire,
yeah,
and
yeah,
Air.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So we'll play a little clip here for you guys.
Earth, wind, fire, and air. We may look bad, but we don't care. We ride the wind, we feel the fire. To love the earth is our one desire. To love the earth is our one desire.
And that one's at the end with like Scooby's on the stage with them. He's got like a bongo drum, right? And he's got a cape on. I love the Hex Girls. I've been a big fan of the Hex Girls since they appeared here. I love them in this. I love them in any other movies they've appeared in, and I really liked them in Mystery Inc., which is no spoilers here, I promise. The best incarnation of a Scooby-Doo cartoon. I think hands down Mystery Inc.
You could binge it within like 20 hours.
And
maybe.
it's good. Like, if you guys want a Scooby-Doo series with structure and an overarching plot, and you really like humor, but you also like
You actually want Daphne
supernatural
to
stuff,
have, you know,
a character,
character.
watch it. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're not here to talk about the greatest Scooby-Doo cartoon ever.
So let's keep on. We're getting off track.
We're getting off track. So, for the plot. This one has a slightly more dense plot and not as much of a mystery, but it's still really good. Basically, what ends up happening is the movie kind of starts with them in a museum trying to catch some bad guys, and Ben, the writer, helps them. And they get the bad guys, and Ben's like, why don't you guys come to, I think it's Oak Haven is the town? Yeah, Oak Haven in Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. More like Taxatusetts.
Oh my god. And invites them to come, and they come. So, like, I mean, that's the only way the plot's gonna get moving forward. And then,
Upon the arrival, they learn that there's a ghost
who's like Ben's ancestor.
Sarah Ravencroft, who they claim to be a witch.
The villagers
Just-
say that she's a witch, but Ben
But-
is like, no, she was a healer. She used like
Herbal
holistic
remedies.
things and made remedies, and she was really sweet and
She was like
nice.
total hipster.
She was like a good witch before good witches were a thing. And they're making the village, I should say, for like this
Halloween-y
thing. They're like
concert.
thing. They're recreating a Puritan village, so they're basically making like one of those historical reenactments, but with like an entire village. So you got like a Heritage Homes meets historical reenactment. And
Easy on
apparently,
nuts.
yeah, sorry.
Orgasm.
Sorry. And the ghost keeps kind of interfering and chasing away tourists, which is hurting the town's revenues.
So then they decide, hey, we're gonna go catch this ghost.
Because
And
that's what the Scooby Gang does, you guys. They catch the ghost.
literally, they catch the ghost within a matter of
Well, like,
10 minutes when the townsfolk have clearly done
Oh, it's because it
shit.
turns out that, spoilers from this point on, by the way, turns out that
They had her on like some kind of
Yeah,
cable
it
that was
was
on top of like
a fire truck.
Fire
Or no, a
tr-
cherry picker.
cherry picker, and they drove it
Like along, and
Yeah.
it was all faked by the town to
basically publicity
a
stunt.
publicity stunt, yeah, and they would be able to sell merchandise. So, like, I survived the witch's ghost. And, of course, Ben gets mad because he's like, oh, this is slander of my ancestor who's actually really super sweet. So I'm going to find her journal. There she kept a list of all of the, like, people she took care of and all of her, like, remedies and stuff. And I'm going to prove that she's super special, awesome.
Because you know, when Tim Curry voices somebody,
You know they're always
they're always the good guy.
They're always the good guy.
They're always the good guy.
So, you get some, like, bits with them walking around the Puritan village, and Scooby ends up digging up what they think is a shoe buckle
But it's actually a buckle for like a journal.
for the journal, and they were looking under the wrong tree. They were looking under this big oak, but it was actually a stump because the tree had been cut down. So they find the journal, and, you know, one thing leads to another, and then Ben decides, like, I'm going to read it because she's actually a witch, and that makes me a warlock. So he summons the ghost of Sarah Ravencroft, and it's crazy. It's a lot of fun. During this mix, like, before they reveal that she's an actual witch, there's, like, this little tiny bit where they think the Hex Girls might be witches, but it literally lasts for, like, a minute, because
because one of the Hex
they
Girls'
see, like,
dads is a dentist.
is
So
a
they
dentist.
got these
They've
really
got
nice
these really nice
3D printed.
like things, but it's because they see Thorn, and she's like the leader of the Hex Girls, like the hottest one, and they see her like making like an herbal thing for her throat because she's the lead singer, and then she's like, oh no, I'm not a witch, I'm a what were they?
Wicca.
Did they say Wiccans? No, did they say Wiccans in this
yeah,
one?
they're Wiccans. They're
Was
Wiccans.
that?
I'm pretty sure they're Wiccans.
I mean, we'll have to double check, but
pretty sure
it was
they're
something.
Wiccans.
It was something akin to that.
I'm pretty sure they're
And
Wiccans.
they make that into like this big thing, like how
Wicca's cool.
like how they're the ones that can stop the witch's ghost because they have like this untapped Wiccan gene or something that makes them capable of doing it. It's a little weird. Even when I was younger, I thought that bit was a little weird, but there you go. And they do end up beating both Sarah, and then Ben gets sucked into the book too, so
Yeah.
he's gone forever.
He's gone
He's into
forever.
like the hell space that
Tim Curry can never.
they have inside this book, and
You know-
everyone rejoices, and the Puritan village shit goes down, and then the Hex Girls perform, which is another amazing song. And, you know, generally it's really good. What do you think? Like, for me, this one's probably my favorite. Like, if I had to go in and I looked at all of them fanned out on a table, and someone was like, pick one now, and I was like, why do I have to? And they're like, because I have a gun. I'd be like, okay. And I'd probably pick this one. But all of them are good in their own way, so it is hard for me to kind of choose. But I definitely think that if not my absolute favorite, it's definitely one of, so I would highly recommend this one as well. It's definitely another one with really good fall atmosphere.
Yeah.
Like, of course, it's the Puritan village. There's, like, fall trees everywhere, cornfields. It's very, like...
We missed out on Scooby-Doo eating out that guy's diner.
Oh, yeah, they, like, ate this guy's diner, like,
just
completely. Like,
clean
the guy
out.
had to, like, go buy more food to make
But he didn't care because he made so much money.
so much money, all on Ben's tab. So there's a lot of really good jokes. The humor in this is also really good. I think the humor in this is a little better than Zombie Island. I think they got into a better, like, rhythm with the jokes and with the quality of, like, humor in it. I also do... No offense to anyone that liked the music in Zombie Island. I really do too, but I love the Hex Girls, and I think their music's just a little more, like, catchy and memorable to me. I don't know about you. What do you think?
They're about the same to me.
I like them both. The Hex Girls are great. Do you have a favorite Hex Girl?
No.
No? I like all of them, but Thorn's probably my favorite. They were great. They were they were the only characters that you got to see kind of
Briefly.
like travel over into other Scooby-Doo projects, though. So that's pretty cool when they got to reuse the Hex Girls in other movies and like we said, in Mystery Inc. So that's pretty cool. yeah, I mean, what do you have any particular things you want to say?
No, I really don't. Sorry, hiccup there.
I died.
No, I don't really have any thoughts on this one. It's like, I watched it, I can appreciate it.
It's one of the ones that as kids we rewatched the most. Zombie Island we probably watched like over and over again because we had both on VHS and then on DVD when that was made available. So this was definitely one of the ones that like TFAV and I, as like little Dex and wee little TFAV, would want to watch every Halloween with like a bowl full of candy, and we really loved them. Oh, he's so sleepy because he insisted we record this in the morning.
Yeah,
when
but
we're
you went to
both
bed at
groggy.
like fucking 3 in the morning.
Oh my god, I'm a night owl. Young. Calm down. And then you shattered a lamp. That's
Sorry for next time.
That's a story for next time. But yeah, this is a really, really good movie. I really like it. Again, one that we would recommend, especially if you want something that's for like this time of year. Like we're the second week of October, you want something spoopy to put on and watch. Something that's kind of fun, lighthearted, but also has some really nice visuals. Then I would highly recommend this one as well. And again, would you say this is also one of those ones like you don't necessarily have to be a super big fan of Scooby-Doo to enjoy?
No, it's
If you're a big fan of Tim Curry,
yeah, you're gonna watch it
it's gonna be good.
regardless.
Overall, I liked this one a lot. So I guess now we give them our arbitrary ratings. And what would you rate this one?
1 Ben Ravencroft
Okay.
out of 2 Tim Currys.
Out of 2 Tim Currys. Okay. I'm gonna rate this one. Let's see. I'm gonna rate this one 1 Puritan Village. Out of. You did yours out of 2? Out of 2 Oak Haven, Massachusetts. That's not a 50% rating though, because Puritan Village is worth a lot more.
Because it's pure.
It's so pure. So it's like the Puritan Village, if like this was an actual ratio, this would be like 50 out of 10. Like, I don't know what TFAB's rating system is.
2 Tim Currys is like, I don't know.
That's like a 400.
Yeah.
And then 1 Ben Ravencroft is like it's like
3.
300. So he's giving it like a 3.4, and I'm giving it like a 10 out of 1. We're really bad at ratios.
Massachusetts.
I've never been to Massachusetts. If anyone lives there, you gotta tell us if it's nice.
Alright.
All right. So that was Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost, and we'll be back next week with another Scooby-Doo movie. And if you look at the list on Wikipedia or something, you'll be able to see is next following this one, because we're hitting them in chronological order, and these are also the ones that we watched most as kids, so they're the ones that we
first.
We have the greatest opinion on because both of us watched it. So yeah, until next week, this is Dex saying continue to be spoopy. Enjoy your second week of Halloween, not October, but the whole month of Halloween. And TFAV saying,
Send me some Halloween candy.
he can't have candy, he's getting a little chubby in the middle.
It's called the winter bod.
It's called the Canadian bod, the 7 months of Canada.
It's because I
bod.
hibernate, you know?
No one hibernates in the winter here. We have to survive. We have to fight the moose for maple syrup. It's crazy. But that's
Alrighty.
not very Halloween-y, so until next week, y'all, be
Scariest
spoopy.
block on the house, witches.